standard template, then go for it. If you would like to go beyond the standard, so you have your choice. So this is the standard because, as you can see, there's a logo, and then there's the one submitted, no, the final requirement. Now take note, in your cover letter, on your cover page, no, or in your first page, it should be clear who are the contributors of your e-portfolio. Yun lang dapat maklaro, no? The title of the portfolio itself, you choose your title, you make use of your creativity. What's the title? Journey towards assessment for learning, or voyage, something like that, etc. I know you are good with that. So you come up with a very good title for your e-portfolio that would somehow encapsulate everything, every experiences that you've learned or acquired in these subjects. Okay, so that was the first part. The next part, are you taking down notes? Is the introduction. So you will provide a very brief introduction of what is this e-portfolio all about. And the next to introduction are the compilation of outputs, no? So dito niyo ipipresent yung lahat ng mga outputs ninyo. Okay. First na yung i-present ninyo is yung TOS draft at saka final. Meaning to say, you have to present your TOS draft, the one that yung mayroong mga kuris-kuris, kung kuris-kurisan, or the one yung may mga comments or feedbacks. Yung hindi pa siya na-develop. And you also have to present, now if you have several drafts, so you have to present all drafts, lahat ng drafts na available. Kung kapila mo nag-ilis-ilis, so you have to include that one in your portfolio. Okay? And finally, when you present your draft, you also present your final output. Okay, this is the TQS final and TOS final. Yan. So, yan ang mangyari. So, depende na sa inyo how you're going to present that. Kasi ito, parang generic lang, present lang yan. There are many ways how to do this. You make use of your creativity, okay? So, present the TOS draft, saka final, and then you have to present also the TQS draft and the final version of your TQs. Okay. The next thing that you have to present in your portfolio is the documentation part. No, it is when you administer your test questionnaire. By the way, for the mathematics major, I already approved all of your test questionnaire for 3 times, no, one na draft. Meaning to say, you can move now already to the next phase, which is test administration. So for math majors, you have to administer your test questionnaire to at least 30 students. And regardless, no, it's up to you if you want to administer your test questionnaire here in KNP. It doesn't matter. Regardless, kayo lang bahala. Basta inyo lang siyang ma-administer ito 10, at least 30 students. And after that, you check your papers, and after checking your papers, you have to conduct or perform item analysis. Okay? Now, everything should be documented, well documented. From test administration to test implementation and checking of the test questionnaire, it should be implemented. Just like here, talagang in-implement talaga nila, no? The making of the TOS, presentation of the TOS, no? Then when first approve na yung TOS nila, yung finals nila, na-approve na din yung at PNHS. Talagang well documented talaga. It's up to you how you're going to present it. There's no generic template for this. As long as makita ko talaga that you implemented this task, no? Answering, administration, test administration done, napapicture pa sa teacher nila kasi they conducted their exam in actual classroom sa DepEd. So, pwede rin yan, pero mananghid yun mo og tarong sa kung naba mo'y kailang nga teacher, it's up to you, no? Mananghid yun mo og klaro yun ana. Walay problema. I will entertain questions later, ha? And then, of course, inyo pong kung ano, no, ang mga estudyante, kinsa ipa-take ninyo, then, pag-analyze na, i-analyze na nila, data interpretation, with all the thing, no, sa Excel, ibutang nila yun sila pag-analyze ng mga test scores. Eventually, kani mga TLE major, nahimo yung mga math major, no, may nakis lang mga analyze o mga test exam. So, inala may tabo sa documentation. All you have to do is to picture. I know you are good with that. You post a lot in your Facebook, then you know how to do it more effectively and more efficiently, no? And more creatively. Okay? Sino? May question yung kanina. Sino yung mag-question? Before I proceed. Patrick?
Yes sir, kanang katungingan ka sir nga moingon ka ay mo istorya lang sa kaila nga teacher if salain ka nga school, pero di ba usa ang uban school sir kay kailangan mag-letter pa man ka sa principal.
Okay, you do that. Letter. Lagay na lang sa letter. For the purpose of the subject course, for the purpose of the subject assessment of learning. Ayan lang. Somehow, simple as that. So, pwede kayo mag-letter. Pero kung as much possible nga di na kayo mahago, you choose the most or you choose the lesser burden in your part. So, hindi na masyadong maghago pa or sa pa. Pero kung if it really requires formality, legality, so be it. That's part of the requirement. That's a good question, Patrick. Okay? How about Aliyah?
Good afternoon, sir. Kanang
Yes.
kanina sir nag-conduct mi sa among study po pero nag-ready na mi sa amo ang letter sir niya. Kanang sir kaila ra man na sa sir saldi man among giduol sir ba niya.
Ay,
Okay lang man po
wala,
saya
wala.
sir.
Oh, yes.
Tapos kanang
Bumitaw,
baka pudlot ako sir. If kanang pwede mi mag-attach og video sa among key portfolio sir.
Wow, that's an amazing quad. Actually, guys, there are many ways to present a portfolio. Actually, I meron akong naisip agad, no, when you come up with word, video, or presentation. Aside from PDF or a static version of your portfolio, kung meron sa inyo dito na marunong gumawa ng website or blog, you can also do that. I will allow. So meaning to say, in this serye, in this term, unlike before that I only allow PDF submission, ngayon we will even level up, go beyond the minimum requirement. So you could have your portfolio in PDF version, you could have your portfolio in a website version or blog version, something like that. Actually, there are many tools available online. You can actually make a website even without knowledge of coding. There are WordPress, Blogspot, etc. Maraming available sa online. And another thing is, you could also present that one in other means of presenting an e-portfolio. Because what is the essence of portfolio? As long as mapakita ninyo ang mga inyong growth and progress of your learning, so that is considered as portfolio. So that's a good question, Aliyah. Well taken. So again, it's either PDF or website link ipasa nyo sa akin. It doesn't matter. Pero part sa criteria, yung medium. Aside from creativity, yung medium is also part of criteria. What does it mean? In what way you are able to present your ideas? In what way? Kung sa PDF, effective ba? Kung sa website ba, is effective din ba? Yeah, something like that. Okay? No more questions?
Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay, so after this well-documented activities, no? Dito na tayo sa presentation of data or presentation of findings. No? Basic lang naman because in part 1, you have to present the item analysis. And you know already how to conduct item analysis. You have to compute the index of difficulty, index of discrimination, and also the distractor analysis. So as you can see here, you can do like this, no? Hindi ko na kayo in-encourage na ano pa yan, magpakita pa ng solution dito. Pwede na mismo yung Excel na nakuha ninyo, as long as the corresponding Excel is inattach nyo din doon sa folder ng e-portfolio nyo para makita ko that you really solve it. But here in portfolio, hindi na siya dapat, solutions are no longer required. Okay? So pwede ito ganitong pag-present, but there are also ways and other means to present this na medyo madali siyang intindihin. Okay? Meron akong isang submission na medyo creative talaga, so di ko lang i-present basta magka-idea pa mo. Anyways, so yan. Index of difficulty. Alam niyo anong kulang dito, kaya gamay lang ilahang grado ani kaning part 1. Wala sila interpretation. O yan. They just present the table, but it has no matching textual description or interpretation. Kasi pag katapos mong makompute yung index of difficulty at saka index of discrimination, the next question to that is, so what? Ano bang ibig sabihin yan? What is a summary of the findings? Para kayo nagpre-present ng research, no, or thesis na in every table there must be a corresponding interpretation or textual analysis of that particular table. So, ito yung medyo nakapabira silang grado, no? Actually dili man yang mo yang perfect yun nga submission, no? Na napay mas daghan perfect man. Pero so far they are able to achieve the minimum requirement. Okay? So yan, no? There should be a corresponding talaga. So what? So what's now? What's next? After you computed, ano kasunod? What are your insights? What are your realizations? What are the summary of findings? Does this questionnaire needs to be reevaluated? Because there are many items na fall in very easy, no, in terms of difficulty or in terms of discrimination. Maraming items din na hindi naka-discriminate. So, that should be included, interpretation. Mas malaki ang point sa interpretation part. Now, after niyo ma-present itong item analysis, let's have the second part, which is the data interpretation of the test scores. Okay? Now, before I proceed, in the math major, I challenge you not only to include item analysis, but also you include reliability analysis. The Coder-Richardson 21 formula, you include that one. And also provide the matching interpretation. Now, you have to go beyond because you are math major. Okay? So that would be an additional requirement to you, math major. The one, what do you call this one? Reliability analysis. No? Okay. And kung makago beyond pagyud mo ang math major, siguro sa English, ma-impress ko, as a English major, ma-impress ko kung unsaon sa mga English major na ang complicated kaayo na mga formula or math concept, ma-present nila in a verbal manner or in a visual manner. That's more, di ako ma-impress. But for you, math major, sorry, mas ma-impress ko kung makabuhat pa mo mas more sa unsay requirement, especially sa analysis part. Kasi pag sinabi natin item analysis, kulang na kulang kung sasabihin natin item analysis lang. Index, difficulty, discrimination. If you want to go beyond, meron pa tayong tinatawag na reliability analysis, Coder-Richardson 21 formula, KR21. Meron din tayong point by serial correlation. Meron din tayong factorial analysis. Alam niyo ba itong factorial analysis, math major? Pag makompute niyo yung Cronbach alpha, ma-determine niyo agad saan sa mga items dito ang hindi effective, regardless of difficulty and discrimination. So if you can go beyond what is the minimum requirement, that is your challenge. That is another challenge in your part kasi you are a math major. But for English major, you settle doon. Pero ang inyuha lang is improve lang ninyo kung saan ninyo pag-present na mas aesthetic siya, mas dali masabtan o nagi matching ng mga interpretation. Okay? Nasabtan, Jade?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Copy,
So
sir.
mag-research kayo, ha? Happy. Karang kuhangin mo. You have to go beyond talaga. Anyways, data interpretation part 2, generic ito lang man yung mga part ng data interpretation. Siguro we don't have enough time for this, no? We will have another session tomorrow kasi ngayon we are more on the discussion about the parts of your portfolio. So you have any questions later, I will entertain that one. Kasi it really needs time, no? You have to okay, of course, after nyo ma-check yung lahat ng question niyo, meron na kayong test scores, right? Okay, like this. Meron na kayong raw scores. Ito yung mga test scores nila sa exam nila na na-check. After that, you have to present this. No need na yung computational part. You have to present this in a frequency distribution table manner. Ito, FDT. Para mas madali nating maintindihan what are these scores all about. For example, how many of the students are getting 26 to 35? So according to the frequency, there are 3. And you also have to make the class mark, class boundary, the relative frequency, etc. and so on. So these are what we call this one required parts of your FDT. Minimum requirement, because kung gusto niyo mo go beyond, pwede, pero this is the minimum requirement. Okay? Now, charts also are included. We have the sorry, you back. So this one, different types of charts. Yung tinatawag nating histogram chart, no? At saka itong ogive din. So gagawin niyo yan, no? Anyways, in our lecture tomorrow, pwede natin yan gawin. Actually, no need na ginig competition because my dear students, hindi na talaga kinakailangan nga imano-mano natin lahat kasi in the reality aspects na pag nandiyon na kayo sa field, gusto na ninyong mabilisan na rin. So anyways, merong mga software or mga tools which are freely available in the internet nga islagay nyo lang yung data, automatic na yung software magko-compute kung anong ang chart niya as this one, histogram, so pa, what else? Kaning kuan, ogive, yan. So, ayaw mo kabalakan, wala tayong competition diri. In fact, in your examination that I already prepared, wala compute, it's more of interpretation. What is the meaning of this and that? Okay? So, part yung charts. After charts is yun ang measures of central tendency. Actually, wala rin. May formula, pero for the English major, hindi ko talaga kayo i-require na mag-compute. All you have to do is to encode this one into a spreadsheet and let the spreadsheet do its job. Okay? So, as long as you know how to utilize the application. Okay? So yan, you have to compute the mean, the median, and the mode. And finally, you have to compute also the standard deviation. What are the steps of doing that? And finally is you have to compute the skewness. I don't know what happened here in their skewness, pero medyo minomano-mano lang nila, no? Pero actually, ito yung pinaka-lowest na group kasi meron silang lacking. You know what's lacking in this presentation, in this portfolio? Dinrawing lang nila yung mga graph chart pero wala akong nabasa maski isang interpretation. What's the meaning of that? What's next? Anong pakialam ko kung ang mean niya is kwan? Ang mean niya is 57.3. Ano bang ibig sabihin yan? Yan yung something kulang ito. Kaya sila yung pinaka-lowest. But as to the minimum requirement, they were able to achieve. No, pero lowest pa din. Okay? So, kulang silang interpretation. Okay. And finally, ito na yung skewness. Kasi importante yan. Now, especially language majors, English majors, supposedly, meron kayong language research ngayon? Di ba? Oo. Now, I challenge you, do not use kanang ubaga dili lang mo puros kwali-kwali lang English major. Dapat kabalugid mo magkwanti, especially sa yung research. Kaya sa una, patingala ko mga language majors dito sa UM when I belong, when I one. How kayo mo compute og mga nani? Kay nani sa subject nga language research. Sa language research is dapat najud kay alamag sa quantitative methods like correlation, finding the mean, even Chomsky, inyuha maginang paborito nga one sa inyong pagka-English major. Ang iyang mga study is more quantitative. Nga on average, pila bayod ka Pilipino kabalo mo basa, unsa bay relationship sa pagkabalo sa pagbasa o ang intellectual capacity, something like that. So it's really part of your assessment, no? Kay kung pamutan-on mo sa inyong mga principal pohon, pila bagid kabuok sa inyong mga estudyante kabalo mo basa. Ayog tubaga og numero. You respond them with charts and graphs para mas ma-impress gid sila. Okay? Okay. So, yan. Kulangan lang yung interpretation, more kulang. The rest kay kwan. Okay, now, I don't require solutions, walang solution. Ang importante sa kuha is the chart and the interpretation, the table itself and the interpretation. Ano lang, no more solutions are required. Basta kabalo lang mo ma-interpret, solve na. E manggawas ba yun sa let yun? I swear, magawas gini siya. And the last part of your portfolio is nothing without your reflections. So, you can also do it creatively, no? Wala, kuyaw kaysa lang masiya, no? Okay, yan. You have to write down, you also have to include your reflections. Individual reflections. What are the things that you've learned? What are the things that you've experienced? Kanira yun nga subject, sir, nga napugos dyo ko o compute o mean median mode bisa man tuod o English major ko. No, wala yung ana gina. No, balo ilahang tarawa, ilahang documentation. Napugos yun sila compute sa Excel because they didn't have that choice. No? So, well, napugos, at the same time, they've learned. Ay, naniun naman nila di ay. Berti naman ng dali Yes, dali na kayo. Labi na karon nga na technology. Okay? So, you have any questions so far? Ano may questions?
None, sir.
You have any questions? William, you have any question? Is it good? Is it feasible? Kaya na ba himuon?
Sa ACS ko, sa intro pa lang na ako katong first natong klase, if there's a will, there's a way na lang.
There's a way, there's a way. Okay. So, klaroon lang yun ako, guys. Take note, ha. Kung hining balik-balikon, labaw na ang namok kumakamutan ron. 3 blocks. Ang English 1, English 2, ug ang math. I don't have any basis of your grades. Wala tayong quiz, no? Pero, I've known, meron dito na, natali ko na participative and interactive during our discussions. So, plus points na din yun. But the rest, wala akong ibang basis. Kuning itong yung portfolio ninyo. So, it's a group effort talaga. It's a group effort. So, kunyari, isa lang yung nag-effort, niya, i-perfect yun, i-howd yun ng mayo, so ang grado na 95. Regardless, why gibuhat ang iyang kagrupo, iyang kagroupmate, niya kay butan makito nag-effort, ay, sulat lang tamo, kay, kuhan man ko ka ng, bas hindi ay, damay, 95 po sa tanan. 95 na may gibuhat. That's why you have the choice, no? Pwede mo mag-meeting sa inyong mga sarili. Ask yourselves, kung sabi na contribute na ko. Ana. So, that's why na cover page, you really have to enumerate lahat ng active contributors ng academic work na ito. Okay? Sulat nyo lahat. Huwag nyo isali yung wala talagang pakabana. Absinot, wala hindi mo amot, etc. Yeah, wala may hassle kay soft copy raman akong gi-require. Soft copy. Napagid mo what they call this one, freedom. Unsa inyong gamit, unsa nga medium inyong gamiton? Is it PDF? Is it via blog or a website? Or is it something, a video presentation, etc.? It doesn't matter. As long as mapakita niyo talaga yung evidences that you learn from this subject. Yung outpost niyo yung importante niyo. Those are the highlights. Okay? Those are the highlights. And that's part of assessment actually. Ang ginagawa niyo ngayon, this is one of the most wonderful type of assessment. Itong portfolio assessment. In fact, there is a school in somewhere in Southeast Asia. I just forgot the name of the institution. They don't have what they call this one. They don't have board licensure examination for teachers. I guess it's in Laos. I'm not quite sure. Basta nasa Southeast Asia. They don't have board examination for teachers. What they only have is a sort of portfolio. They have ang ilang requirements silang 4-year degree course na teaching kasi nagya po sa teacher dito is that they have to encapsulate in a one portfolio everything that they have learned and acquired from their profession. And then they have to submit that one in a certain authority and the authority are going to evaluate who will go to public kasi sa laing nasod mangod guys, pag naadyo ka sa public, ang tanaw sa tanan sa imuha, ikaw na gyud ang pinakakuyaw nga motudlo sa tibuok. That's like my classmate in doctoral. Nagtudlo sa China, Guangzhou University, public high school. Sila gyud ang pinakakuyaw. Muna ilahang ideology dito. Unlike here, if you teach in public, pura mag-degrading na kayo no kay mga loners dili na mga naginusara ha mga loners but once you teach in public mga loners they tawag but in other countries especially in China dito na ko na-realize that once you teach in public you are considered as the greatest teacher of all murang lisod kayo sa public dito dahag private institutions but public is seldom na kayo. Nana sa lang nasa. Yeah. So yan na. Yeah. No, that's why your skills in in this subject, no, in this portfolio making, will eventually help you in the near future. No? Designate the work, divide the task, no? Divide the task kay dili na siya mabuhat sa usa ka tawo lang. I am pretty much sure. No? And especially if English major, kung I'm not trying to say nga dili mo kabalo bro, kung maglisod mangaling mo competition, you can ask the math major how to do it. O, consultancy ba? Nana, may tabong consultancy. Consult them on how to do this, how to do that. Ya, lisod po kayang math major di katubag. Math major pa man ni sila. Okay? So, collaboration is the key here. Collaboration is the key. Okay. Do you have any questions so far? Now, as to the deadline is not this week. Okay? Deadline is not this week. So, you still have more days to one. Even though it's already enrollment, but deadline is not this week. Perhaps next week. Next week na. Kasi you have after the final exam, which is Friday, you still have 7 days to comply, as per the academic policy mandates. So, but let's not make it 7 days. Kaya kung may mo 7 days, kukumpit pa because yung grado ninyo. So, let's make it siguro, to be fair, next week, pero sa next Wednesday na. Okay na sa inyo ha? So that will be what is the date? 17. Okay lang sa inyo ha? Is that okay?
Pwede berle,
Basta di
sir.
na pwede. Di na pwede mo.
Okay ra sir, okay ra sir.
Okay, good. Di na pwede mo lapas sa 22 guys.
Thank you,
Because,
sir.
I'm not around January 20s because I myself, I also a student and I'll be taking comprehensive exam in my doctoral this coming 22. So, absent ko na nga panahon. Wala ko displahan. Di ko niyo makitaan. So, I have to finish everything next week. Lahat. Grado, competition, etc. So that before I leave, before in my post, no? So, I can give you your grades already. That's why let's make it 17. Let's agree with that. So that by 18, I can check that will be my gagawin ko no sa 18, and then by 19 possible may grades na kayo. Wala lang. Simple as that. Kung
Thank you, sir.
para po katong mga medyo sangitonon, napay chance, napay opportunity nga dili pa masangit. Okay. Isod po, no? Unang ma-report siya, okay, mo ninyo hang grado. 74.99. Lah. If you want may round off.
Undang na lang, sir.
Ano hinana man na, sir? Tanawa.
Bawi na lang po next live po
Imong
sir.
income nga first o final, bagsak. Ang imuhang first o final, bagsak. Ang imong portfolio, ikamong grupo ang pinaka-lowest. So, bagsak yun. 74.99.
Sir, now okay question po sir.
Yes.
Like for example po, what if po website po ang among himuon sir? Pwede URL lang mo ihatag sir.
Yes, URL. As simple as that. You know what? I am very much fun with making website. In fact, in my field study, for so long that I teach field study, I really require my students to document their journey in their field study using a blog or website. No? Itong mga times
Dili
na
mo sa
mahara.
masabag na, ha? Pantay-yap na
kuwan
kululap
yun
dra.
naka-website yun ay naka-blog na ilang
Nilap yung
mga
project na.
journey. Kasi I told them,
Nga mo juga, bugnalan ba?
document this now, then after 10 years,
Wala,
you go
lagi.
back to the thing that you called a requirement before, but
Paglasok
now it's part of your memory. Requirement naman na sa una, pero 5 years, 10 years from now, it's no longer a requirement. It is already considered as a treasure. Uy, inani di akong gibuhat sa una. Inani di akong mga one kalisod, no, something ana. So that's one thing about documentation or portfolio. Kumbaga gina-capture nimo ang mga moments na, for example, sa inyong draft, sa inyong TQs, kalima jud ko balik-balik ni Sir Micaros until such time na ni-approve na gyud sa siyang sa test questionnaire. So you have to document that one. Mao niya mga kuan nahitabo. So you know what? That's one thing about portfolio, documentation. And as I said, di ba? Assessment is not about gathering evidences. In fact, kung imo gyud ang sabton what is assessment? Assessment is a documentation. I-document nimo ang learning experience sa imong mga estudyante. And then after you read all the documentations, that's the time you come up with your evaluation. That's the thing about assessment and evaluation. Okay? All right. So, you have any questions so far? Ano na tama mo tana? Sir, pwede mangayo atong file, sir, pang-guide lang. As much as I would like to share the file, but we know when it comes to what do you call this one, intellectual property rights, I'm not allowed. No, I'm allowed to share via screen, but I'm not allowed to share the actual file because you have to ask the authors themselves. So it might be you just approach them because they are still in fourth year pa naman or in other sections. So you just ask them na lang, pwede ko mang sir, pwede mi mang one guys, no? As long as your work and output is authentic and it's not copy and pasted, so okay lang. No problems with that. Jade?
Sir, mangutana lang ako, sir, kung pwede ba i-online, sir, ang pa-exam po? Or dili, sir? Kailangan
Alright,
printed yun.
pwede ba i-online? Well, you have to do it face-to-face. You have to do it face-to-face.
Okay,
Kasi
sir.
that's part of the learning journey kasi you have to expose yourselves in a face-to-face examination. Kasi yun yung i-document ninyo. Okay?
Okay, sir.
And take
Thank you,
note,
sir.
there is all kasi nga having online assessment is very risky. It's very risky. Number one, cheating. Yun ang cheating. So, number one, you don't know if the one who is taking is actually the one of your students. Baka, who knows? It could be another person. Take note, we always have that what we call academic integrity. So when you administer your test questionnaire, it's not only when you distribute your TQs, but also that is the time that you have to exercise academic integrity. Number one, how are you going to avoid cheating in the class? That's part. Daghang mga pamagi. I even remember before nga sa kuwan na po sigurong kuwan kanang I want to say nga gaon, but ako gyung CCTV akong klase, no, even putang gyud si CCTV aron gyud makita gyud ako na record gyud nako kung kinsa gyud ang nilingi or wala nilingi sa iyang mga classmates. So daghang pamagi. So, wala ta face to face. Dato yung grace. Is it the grace? You're recognized. Wala na? Okay, Mian?
Sir, good afternoon, sir. Kanang. Sir, balik ko lang balik, sir, no, kay.
Sige, balik ko lang balik.
Balik ko lang balik. Balik ko lang ask, sir, no, na pwede lang man, basin sa nga course ang pa-take ko na mo sa mga case
yes.
paper.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sir.
As what I said, there is no exclusion or inclusion criteria. Specific. But
Okay, sir.
in your analysis and interpretation, you have to cite that one. Who are your takers? At least, no, you just cite that one in your portfolio. Who are your takers?
Okay po, sir.
artistic.
Noted.
Ano lang,
Thank you,
kanina
sir.
sila is they are randomly selected or they are selected with no choice. Ano ba? So, wala. There's none.
Okay, sir. Clear, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now, meron akong pakonsuelo sa inyo before we end our session this afternoon. I believe that you have so many outputs to be submitted, especially it's finals already. So I am contemplating that that katuganing module nga individual module. Well, of course, if you answered already, that is advantageous in your part because meaning to say you really kumbaga gave your effort on understanding the topics using that module. To give a consuelo so that lesser burden your part, i-waive na lang nako ang submission for that, no? So individually, no, there's no more individual submission of that. However, for those who answered it and for those who complied it earlier, lucky for you. Kasi akong final exam maya is I tell you, pang let yun, kinuha ginako sa let nga mga questions, no? So kung usa to yung na-experience atong exam tong previously, expect more in the final exam. Expect more in the final exam. Okay?
Sir, kanang pwede yan, sir, ipasa na ako module, sir, kay naka-answer mi, sir, pero sa katong solving good na remaining, sir, pwede na mo kato na lang ipasa. Katong
Yes. All may pasa. Just like what I said, i-waive na nako for the benefit of all. I-waive na nako. So, kung nakahuman mo, di good. Para po na sa inyo ang sarili because actually the module is self-paced learning material. No? Self-paced learning material. So even if I did not instruct you sa first day na ansira na, dapat yun supposedly you have to answer it because that is a self-paced learning material. Para kung gusto niyo makakat-ons yung sarili, no? But karon, as what I said, to give you, a little bit of comfort. So I will no longer require or force each one of you to submit that individual module. Okay? Okay? Alam. Gamali?
Nay, ano sa ko, sir, nagpa-ask if pwede ba daw mabala nilang scores last time.
Lagi, no? So, supposedly, I have to, you know what? I last year pa on that to, no? Sa kadagan ng ginahuna, I forgot, no? Even I already instructed Nesril to formulate a Google form. Pero I tell you, whatever is the thing that I announce, no, in the group chat, yun na lang talaga yung pumasa. But don't you worry, guys, because pwede man ako na, there's still chance, pwede man ako na-adjust sa mga scores around. You know what, kung teacher na ka, pwede ka po na siya. I-adjust mo scores, kaya napansin mo, murag lisod na po kayong exam, ano ba? There's always an adjustment. Dito lang na suta mo patanawon sa grado ninyo sa kuha na lang. Sa kanang kuha na, mahuman na ng compute ang tanan. Kana lang. Isahon na na to. Actually, gamay raman. Sa may basis to exam, no? Atong exam na itong una, then kaning final exam na to, nga take note ang final exam na to, guys, is naka-prepare jud ko og bali 100 ka items na test question. So, taken gini siya sa let questions. So, kinuha gini sa let questions that would somehow encapsulate all the learning outcomes in assessment of learning 1. Ala. So, medyo tas-tas yun siya, pero okay ra po, no? At least makuha mo. Okay, Jafar, you have a question, Jafar?
Good afternoon, sir. Unsa man gamitin nga material as a reviewer for the upcoming exam po?
I have many materials. If you ask, meron akong NCBTS, meron din akong yung PPST based, no? Is that what you're asking? The materials?
Yeah, reviewer, sir, para sa mga exam karong Friday po.
Okay, materials sa inyong exam. Of course, the module itself. The module itself. Yun naman, doon lang naman dito naman magbali-bali ang mga question dito. No? Pero kung ingon mo materials sa akong questionnaire, sultihan, tamudaan. Meron akong NCBTS based, PPST based, no? Dahang kong mga review materials diri nga pwede na ko panguhaan og mga questions sa assessment. Inalang itapos sa akong classmates sa una nga magna cum laude. Tingala mi ngano gid puno na sa perfect sa iyang exam sa Prof.Ed sa among usa ka professor. Sa dihang ang nahitabo di ay iya tinasakpan ang pattern sa mong professor. Ang tanang questionnaire gigamit sa professor kinuha sa usa ka libro sa reviewer. Ya kay bright magitutuhan na gid to. I-memorize niya ang tanang question sa libro. O paggawa sa questionnaire, wala. Perfect kanunay. Unang magna cum laude, top 3 po sa let. Alara. So, yan na lang, no? Kung inyong gustuhon, may pamaagi. Hindi mo karon pa lang daan, sa third year pa mo, palit na mo mga reviewer daan para study na daan habang may oras pa. Okay? So, questions? So, di na ta magkuhan, napaday tayo ugma Tuesday, same time for the lecture, pero it will be just a short lecture. 1 hour lang. Ako lang i-try to squeeze everything in just 1 hour. Even though ay mo ka board ugma kay more or less lagi computational part, lagi computation, but I will focus more on the integration of spreadsheet or Excel so that computations we know more. Okay. Alright, so wala lang questions? So let's see each other tomorrow, Tuesday.
Hinayin ako
Sa 1 hour session natin, 3 to 4
Wasted,
o'clock
ha?
pa rin. Fauji,
Sir, excuse me, sir. Nami di mo ugma, sir, sa kanang nga oras.
namoy,
Di mo, sir.
Di mo po.
mat.
Yes, sir.
Pwede na mo di mo appeal mat, kaya kabalo na bitaw mo complete ang Milligan mode, standard deviation, mora man na. Kamo na lang study. Okay, may problema. Another, no more
Yes, sir.
questions? Okay, so if there's none, so thank you for your attendance this afternoon. Let's see each other tomorrow in our lecture. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, sir.
Bye,
I
sir.
hope everything is clear and ready.
Bye. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.